France ended up losing to Switzerland in in a game that was really a crazy game. And if you were a neutral fan, you loved that game.
Yeah, man.
You loved what you saw. I did not love any of it. I was on life support for the whole game. You know, it wasn't fun.
Yeah,
I kept seeing people tweet, "This is the greatest game of football I've ever seen," and I'm just like this depressed. I didn't get to the way all the neutral
yeah.
fans enjoyed that game. I did not enjoy it one bit. The game before I did, but this game I didn't. And yeah, let's get into the game. It was the way we started, the way France started playing three at the back. Uh, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. Longley came into the lineup playing in that center back role. That first goal conceded by France from Switzerland was Longley completely just getting bodied and
Getting
out everything
bodied,
you can
bro.
think of. You know, that even though that was an individual goal, like if it was based off of an individual mistake and an individual battle, it still stemmed from a team mistake that kept happening, which was the
Yeah,
midfield was so open during that first half. It seemed to me like Pogba and Conte weren't sure when to press, who to press, and there was so much space in there that Switzerland were just playing all around that, and from just dominating that midfield, they were able to send those passes to the left wing, to the right wing, get the crosses in, and then boom,
I
you
would,
have that first
I,
opportunity.
I would blame, I would blame the coach, right? Because there was actually no one sitting, right? Switzerland had Shaka sitting, right?
Hmm.
And then the other two were doing their thing, right? And then he was also instrumental in playing some key passes that
Hmm.
led to their goals and stuff like that, right? Pogba was very instrumental. You needed Pogba to be free. You couldn't give Pogba some defensive responsibilities. Like he should have told Kante to sit, or he should have not played three in the back and played like the three in the midfield. Remember what he did with Pogba, Kante, and Tolisso, right? He could have
Hmm.
played three in the midfield, right? So Kante could sit, or Tolisso could sit, or someone could sit, right? Because Switzerland, they know how to play soccer. Like they had Shaqiri, they had Shaka, they had other guys, they had Seferovic.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? First of all, this line leg guys are far. Why is this guy starting over someone like Zuma, who's a Champions League winner coming into the tournament? You know what I mean? Where's Upamecano? You know what I mean?
I
That's the question we should be asking. Like, it's not like they didn't have center backs. They had center backs.
but
They
the thing
also
is,
had
yeah,
numerous like options for left backs. Right? You only chose two, and both got injured. Remember in the last game, both got
and
injured. So
that's
now he plays Rabiot as a left wing back.
and that's the problem we need to talk about because we did talk at the beginning of the tournament how France is one of the deepest teams in this tournament. What happens when you go so deep that now don't have certain players playing the right positions, or you're trying to figure out a lineup? Because look, what the only reason we had to play three at the back is because first of all,
Is it is the
Dean
left
is
back
out.
issue?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
Luca Dean is out. First of all, that's one. Hernandez, who was in the back
Hernandez.
line, who was part of the back four, he's also out with some another type of injury.
Yeah,
It
but he
came
was
to
on
the
the bench though. He was on the bench, but he
but
wasn't
he would
given
have
enough to start.
but he was on the bench, but he wasn't going to play because of that injury, right? So
Yeah,
for Didier Deschamps, this was one of the games where maybe he sits him out, and because we know we're going to win, quote unquote, and then you bring him back. You bring him back next game, but obviously Switzerland's a they're profession. They're teams full of professionals. They're gonna play. They're gonna play football like they're taught to play football. And the crazy thing about Switzerland is that teams that come from their position usually tend to just let's sit back and soak up the pressure. You know, that's what a lot of
yeah,
teams like that do. They did not do that at all this game. They kept pressuring, and that first half, once they got that first goal, and the way I was seeing France play going into halftime, I'm like, if we don't get a goal, I thought we're done. We're honestly done because it just looked awful.
yeah.
The energy was off, and the team wasn't playing right. But then you get to the half, and finally, Didier Deschamps makes the change. Long leg comes out. Kingsley comes in to play on that left side, and then you push Rabiot to the back. You have the four at the back, and that works better. The team works. Their team works
Yeah,
way better.
yeah. The team it looks better, right? And you know
Hmm.
France was leading 3-1. I thought that was game done and dusted. You gotta now as a coach, you gotta secure the lead. You gotta do something. You gotta change something. You gotta make sure that you stop the pressure from Switzerland so they don't gain momentum. And then all of a sudden they score, and then they score again in the last minute. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what exactly like the
Well,
coach had
even
in mind, or like
but I think what's interesting about football is that you don't cheat the game. France
exactly.
is playing good. It's playing like good football for 20-minute spurts. Like that's
But
not
that's
how
it.
the game works.
But that's the thing, though.
You have to
Janet,
play well over the course of the game. So they're playing on 20-minute spurts. The only reason they were able to get those goals is because from the Hugo Lloris save, the Lloris save literally brought the team back to life. I knew in my head, I'm like, yo, Lloris saves this, bro, we're back in it. They score, it's game over. You're down 2-0 and it's done.
exactly.
So Lloris saves it, and then boom, you have Benzema scoring 2 goals in like I think like 2 minutes or whatever, right? You're up 2-0. Then you get the Pogba goal. You get the
It's
Pogba. It's
game
a 2-0.
over.
It's 2-1. You get the Pogba goal.
That's
It's 3-1. 15 minutes left in the game. 3-1. I was like, where is the
like
game management? Where is it?
scary how like the game changes, the momentum changes after that Lloris save to like 2 minutes later Benzema scores. You know what I mean? And if you
Mm-hmm.
look at Pogba was very instrumental in that game, right? And like you were saying, they played good football in like 20 minutes period and stuff like that. Because the reason why is that France don't have like a style of play. If you look at it, I don't think Deschamps has any like because he has a lot of talented players, so they just play individually. You know what I mean? Like Mbappe wants to cut in and dribble and dribble. Pogba is always obviously he's a midfielder, is looking for the passes, but like they don't have like certain rotation, certain movements around where like this guy is there, this guy is there, boom, find Mbappe, boom, 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 long range pass. Benzema comes in, receives the ball, lays out, stuff like that, right? There was no team play throughout the game, like you said. There was only a period where you see them, make one or two passes, boom, through ball, like you know what I mean. And then the individual stars, right, is what brought you guys back in the game and gave you guys the lead.
But
Pogba was very instrumental. Benzema was very instrumental too.
I don't think it's due to the lack of a style of play that DJ Deschamps have because I think he does have one. I think it was due to the fact that there was no execution on the field of what he wanted to do. Because I know he has an idea of how he wants France to play, but once it
How is
comes to the
that?
pitch,
How?
from practice to the pitch, you can see it doesn't work. Because what France could do really well is they could defend and break you on the counter very quickly. Or if they're playing just on in your half, they will beat you with either the long balls or the short passes in between the Mbappes, the Benzemas, even Griezmann's gets involved or whatever. And Pogba is such a big part of that because Pogba is the one that's really able to hit those long passes, like
Yeah,
in between
like
the defensive
his
lines,
passes,
also on the wing.
yo, his
They're
passes
huge.
yesterday were so beautiful. Like it was crazy. There was this half volley pass that he did. He's like, phew. I'm like, bro,
But
what
to
is
me,
going on?
but to me,
But
like I said,
all all
you
everything
don't.
got thrown out the window in penalties.
No, but I don't
Like that
discuss
game, like
penalties.
Pogba's beautiful game.
I don't discuss penalties too much because for me, penalties is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. But for me, it's just in regular time when you have a 3-1 lead as a coach. There is there's no way you can let your team give away two very easy goals. Like the second goal that they scored to make it 3-2 in the 90th minute. Paul Pogba gives the ball away in the midfield,
Too
which you should have just let
easy.
it. You should just let it go. But boom, Switzerland gets the ball, and the center backs are so spread out. The pass is right through, and
It's
but then
crazy.
Kipembe's on the floor, and then you have an easy goal. So it was stuff like that I was seeing. I'm just like, where is the game management? Where's the squad management from Didier Deschamps, and also from certain guys on the roster? Like, we need to play smarter. We're up 3-1. What are we doing trying to keep having fun in the midfield when all we have to do is have game management? Pass,
Yeah,
pass, pass, waste time here, waste time there. and and leave, run away with the victory. Because I think that's running. We would have ran away with the victory because I don't think we deserved it as much as some people would think if France had won in regular time. I don't think they deserved it, and it's one of those where France gets eliminated right now. But let's say they had won the Switzerland game, I think they're not even making it to the finals the way they've been playing this tournament. So it comes to the point where the team, something has to change. And I know there's a lot of guys that stayed that weren't picked on the roster and that stayed home. They're looking at it from home. They're like, hey man, you know, if I was there, it could have been a difference. And you're heading into the World Cup in less than 18 months, I believe. The question now becomes for some
Yeah.
people, oh, do you bring in Zidane? What do you do? Some people are starting to say Mbappe is done. He's this, that, that. You guys need to relax.
Now Mbappe is
Mbappe
not done.
is 22.
His attitude just needs to change. His
Mm-hmm.
mentality just needs to change. Obviously, for a young guy to do certain things, for a young guy to win the World Cup, score in the World Cup final, blah 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 blah, you feel like you're up there. Sometimes you gotta tone it down a little bit. If you remember against I don't know if it was Germany or Hungary or Portugal, right? Pogba played him a pass, a through pass, split the defenders. He shot it. He opened his body, shot it, but the goalkeeper saved it, right? But he was still
Mm-hmm.
offside. But like that's the same. That was like almost the exact same play. But at this time, you're in the 6 yard box,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't know what you're thinking, and you miss kick it with your left foot. Like, come on, that's the game winner right there. If you're really
Not
about those
only.
kind of moments, just
Mm-hmm.
you know what to do. You know what to do in front of the net.
And that's why I don't even talk about penalties because I look at that tension, the Pogba pass. He wafts it with his left foot. I look at the other opportunity, which was actually I forgot who gave it to him, but he was kind of on the left side, and he gets a one time shot with his right foot on the ground. That needs to be that shot needs to be better. It needs to be better.
It
So
needs to be
those are the
better.
opportunity. Those are the moments for me where it's like, so you. This is where you lose the game. This is a game of literally inches. If you miss those goals later down the road, you'll think back. Damn, if we could have gotten that, it's game. You know.